So again, hello and welcome. I am going to share with everyone a bit about the Mid-Atlantic Tours program before we jump right into hearing directly from the roster artists themselves. So we have just a couple slides here with information about the program. But while I'm, going through this rather quickly today, do know if you're a presenter that we do have a recorded session that is just focused on the Mid-Atlantic Tours program in terms of how presenters can engage. So I do encourage you to check that out. There is a recording on Mid-Atlantic Art's website that you can access for that. So getting started, if you are interested in engaging live captioning, we do have that available for today's presentation. To turn on live captions, set the control bar of your screen into the captioning section and then select more and then select show captions. All right. In terms of accessibility for this program, the program guidelines are available at midatlanticarts.org in an accessible Word document format. And if you would like to request accommodations at any time for this program, you can do so by contacting me. And my information is there on the screen. My number is 410-539-6656, extension 110. All right. Mid-Atlantic Arts is one of 6 regional arts organizations. We are in partnership with the state arts agencies in the Mid-Atlantic region, as well as the National Endowment for the Arts. This is a map of all of the RAOs, and I do encourage you to check out the Regional Arts Organization website to find out more information about programs that you can access as a presenter from any of our partners. But here today, we are talking about the Mid-Atlantic Tours program. This is a grant opportunity for presenters in the Mid-Atlantic geographic region. Those are the 10 states and jurisdictions listed on your screen. This program is funded through the NEA's Regional Engagement Program, and it supports touring of the selected roster artists that you're going to hear from today through July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2025. So that is the program period. And the full guidelines are available at midatlanticarts.org. So eligibility, just breezing through this, again, we do have more details about this on our website, but you do need to be based in the Mid-Atlantic geographic region. You need to be a 501c3 nonprofit or a unit of state or local government or a federally recognized Indian tribal government. You need to demonstrate organizational administrative capacity to complete all of the components in collaboration with the roster artist and the tour manager. Essentially, that means we're not looking to necessarily work with only organizations that have extensive performing arts presentation experience. But if you don't have that experience, we will ask how you plan to support the work. And then we do ask that you be in good standing with Mid-Atlantic Arts, which basically means that you are not overdue on any of your final reports. And if you are, let me know, we can work it out. So how does it work? You as a presenter would reach out directly to any of the tour managers who we're going to hear from on today's call. The presenters and the tour managers are then asked to work together to create the terms of the engagement by March 28th, 2024. That date is really important. And presenters need to submit that signed letter of agreement by that date. Tour managers then make the final funding recommendation to Mid-Atlantic Arts. And then after you receive a funding recommendation from a tour manager, which comes through Mid-Atlantic Arts, we at Mid-Atlantic Arts will share an intent to award notification. And so that is going to be your initial notification that you've been recommended for funding formally by Mid-Atlantic Arts. We will then issue you a grant application, and the grants, once we've gone through that application process, will be formally awarded in June of 2024. And then, as I mentioned, the touring for this program will take place between July 1st, 2024 and June 30th, 2025. Now we're here for, we're to the part that we're all here for, which is the roster artists. The 2024-2025 roster artists include Undos Chase Andres, Adam Booth, Alex and Olmsted, Deborah Ann Bird, Long Point String Band, and Plena Libre. We're going to hear from everyone in just a moment. Starting with Undos Chase Andres. And so I'm going to stop my share here and invite the team from Un, Dos, Tres, Andres. I know we have Sarah here, who is the tour manager. Sarah, if you can take it away, I'm going to pull up your materials to get ready for sharing.
Hi, everybody. I am Sarah, one of the co-directors at Holden and Arts Associates. And actually, I'm going to hop it over to Andres and Christina to tell everybody a little bit more about their group.
Hi, everybody. We are Cristina and Andres. We are Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres. We do music for children and families. We have over a decade of working with children and families in various capacities. And we're based in Virginia, in the Northern Virginia area. We're so excited to be on the roster this year to meet all of you. And let's dive right into it. Our main offering that I wanted to talk about today is family concerts, and we'll just scooch a little over here. So here you can see a picture of some families at a recent family concert. This one happened to be outdoors, and we use lots of different tricks up our sleeve, from incorporating full body movements to ASL sign language, to inviting kids to go get their adults and bring them up to dance, so that this is not a kids concert, but really a family concert for an intergenerational experience. And one of our works that is touring is called Actívate. And Actívate is focused on, well, the word actívate in Spanish means to activate. It's encouraging people to get active with our bodies and with our minds by contributing ideas. And do you want to tell us a little bit more?
Well, we also, as part of the show, we bring, obviously, it's a music show, but with lots of stories.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also include instruments, different instruments. So I do a lot of looping with my guitar. I can make it sound like, even if it's the two of us, it sounds like a full band, because I do percussion, I do bass, I do special sounds, and then I also bring my woodwind. So to play the cumbia from Colombia, I bring a traditional flute from Colombia. I bring my saxophone, and there's some silliness happening, usually from her. I'm very serious, so she's the silly one, right?
And we perform Actívate not only for families at evenings or weekends, but also for school groups. So we can tailor the program to fit the needs of whoever is in the audience. We also have another program called Around the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
And this, again, uses storytelling to dive into geography. And we learn about the different regions of the Americas, which are lighting up here on the screen. Incidentally, we incorporate visuals into our programs, unless they're outdoors, that's okay too. And so that it becomes a real multimedia experience. And Around the Americas is typically offered for school groups. And we can tailor it for K-5 groups, or we can zero in on a different repertoire within that program that is more appropriate for pre-K2, depending on what is right for your community. So I'm going to hand it off to Sarah to talk about what is the best kind of venue for our program.
So we started working with Andres and Christina last year and have brought them to all kinds of venues, both with lots of school shows, both focused on family, outdoor, big venues, small venues. So we're really flexible. I would say our calendars are already getting full. So to talk soon about dates, we're definitely looking for places where we can be in a community for longer and to do different outreach. So I would love to talk with venues and sort of make a custom engagement depending on the needs of the community, and particularly, is this about Spanish learning? Is this connecting with different Spanish speaking populations? There's a lot of possibilities.
Awesome. And speaking about communities, we wanted to talk just briefly about our different community engagement options. So first of all, our student concerts are available either as bus-ins, where the students come to your space on a school bus, or off-site. So here we are at an elementary school that one particular presenter, because of their rural environment or because of the cost of buses, it was just easier for them to bring us into the school, so we can do that as well. We are very nimble and flexible in terms of technology and setup, so we can perform in lots of different environments, and we have a lot of the gear that we need. So, you know, it's not a huge lift to have us be in a different environment. And speaking of a different environment, this photo is from a program we did at a hospital.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's with a population of, you know, children or families that maybe they are they're at a hospital, they're at a Head Start center, they're in a different kind of setting where it's challenging to get them to be able to come to your space, so we can go to them. And that can look like a concert. It can also look like songwriting workshops or workshops for educators or future educators about how to use music in their day-to-day educational practice. And it can also look like bringing some of your local musicians, your child performers in your community on stage with us.
Uh-huh.
Want to tell them about
Yeah, we did a beautiful experience in Utah recently,
Mhm.
in which they had a youth program for strings and a choir. So we were in communications with them. They wanted to bring the kids to be part of the show, and we welcomed that. So it was a big hit. We had a couple of online meetings. We shared the music with them. We gave them sheet music that was appropriate for their level, and it was so awesome. They
Yeah.
were part of the show. The news came, and then the kids brought all of their families. So
Mhm.
it was a very positive experience.
And that was a combination of virtual interactions as well as an in-person rehearsal workshop with the student performers before the show, which you know, not only gives them the musical experience, but also just the experience of being on stage and being performers. And those children were ages 5 to 15. Different, so it can be a gamut of performers. So we'll leave it there, and thank you so much for being here, for the opportunity to share about what we do.
All right. Thank you, Andres and Christina and Sarah. We are going to take a look at the work sample now for Un, Dos, Tres, Andres.
Hola! Are you ready for the show? Say hola!
Hola,
Oh, oh, hola!
oh, oh, hola,
Oh, oh, hola!
oh, oh, hola,
Oh, oh, hola!
oh, oh, hola.
Okay, we're gonna try a little bit louder. I'm gonna bring the volume up. I think we're ready now. Ready, Christina? Here we go. Let me hear you, everybody. Say, hola. Oh, oh, hola.
Oh, oh, hola,
Oh, oh, hola.
oh, oh, hola,
Oh, oh, oh.
oh, oh, hola.
It doesn't matter where you are from, if you speak English or Espanol. It doesn't matter, there's nothing wrong. We can all get along. Can we?
Well, let's ask the students. Can we be friends even if we speak different languages? Well,
because you know, everybody here on stage comes from a different country, and we got together to play music for you. And maybe you or your parents or your neighbors or your great parents, maybe they come from different parts of the world. And isn't it great that we can live together and sing? Everybody, say, hola amigo,
Hola, amigo.
¿cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
All right. Thank you again to the Undos Tres Andres team, Christina and Andres. And if you are interested in working with Undos Tres Andres in your community, reach out to Sarah and get that conversation started. So next, I'm going to stop the share here and invite Angie and Adam to begin sharing about Adam Booth.
Hi everyone, my name is Angie Fluck and I'm here today as the agent for Adam Booth. A little bit about Adam is he is a nationally touring storyteller from West Virginia, and he's been working as a professional storyteller for almost 2 decades. In that time, Adam's headlined for kind of more or less all of the national storytelling festivals. He's appeared on the Millennium stage at the Kennedy Center, and he presented as spoken word artist at the Banff Center in Canada. In 2022, Adam was named as the West Virginia Folk Artist of the Year, so that was very exciting. We don't see a lot of storytellers on the roster, so a little bit about, you know, how that works for us is that you, as you already know, storytelling has a long history of functioning not only as entertainment and art, but also as a carrier of culture and history. And for this reason, Adam's original works are really carefully researched and crafted. His mission as a storyteller is to empower individuals not only to speak their stories, but also to listen to the stories of others in order to help develop empathy and understanding, and allowing people to form connections through the shared human experience. Adam is here to talk to you about his brand new story called The Heron's Journey, and so I'll turn it over to him.
Hi, everybody. I'm Adam, and The Heron's Journey is the story, the piece of mind that's on the touring roster for next year. And it is a concert-length neo-traditional story. So it feels very old, but it's actually an original story. It draws upon creation tales from around the world, as well as folklore surrounding the Torah, Appalachian imagery, I'm from West Virginia, and also queer and marginalized community themes. But it reaches many more audiences than what I've just mentioned. I feel like this story is really for anyone who's experienced difference. And we found that it really resonates with people on many journeys, especially from unsolicited feedback in the performances that have happened so far. People have told us that it relates to those who self-identify as having learning disabilities. A woman who said that she's bipolar and really saw herself in this story had a lot to say. Many queer youth have related to this story, people on various religious journeys, and educators seeking and seeing their own student needs. So storytelling as an art form is inherently collaborative. The storyteller and the people gathered together help shape the narrative and the emotional experience. And for this particular work, I collaborated with a few other artists. As you'll see in the video that we're going to share in a minute, I collaborated with a quilt maker who made this beautiful quilt that helps tell this story, and a printmaker who made these wonderful paper sculptures of herons. I'm trying to fit one in this screen, but they're almost life-size. And a movement specialist to create a new type of storytelling experience. And during the performance, I also collaborate with the audience in several ways, some of which you'll see in the video. So I'd say that if your goal is to use arts to understand and build communities, then this program could be for you. And now Angie will take our last minute to talk about some of the outreach opportunities.
Thanks, Adam. So The Heron's Journey is probably most appropriate for young adults to adult audiences, maybe I'd say minimally probably like grade 8 and older. It's a natural fit fit for presenters from universities or performing arts venues and schools. And Adam is also really eager, I'd say, to present in some non-traditional spaces as we take the show on the road. There's a lot of art incorporated in what he's done, like visual art. So if we could get into some art galleries, he's got a particular interest in that too. In terms of outreach and educational or engagement activities, there are a lot of different opportunities that we could take, and we're really open to the ideas and the needs that you have. If you are looking maybe for an additional storytelling concert that could work as an engagement activity, it may be the Heron, but it doesn't have to be. Adam tells a lot of spooky stories. He's really quite good at it and loves it. And he's got a large repertoire of traditional Appalachian tales too. He also works extensively in schools from ages of kindergarten and up. For the younger kids, those types of performances and workshops might include his banjo and like singing and interactive songs with young people. And then as the student population gets older, the repertoire changes, and so does the type of workshop or engagement activity that could be shared with a population of people. He also provides professional development for teachers and even for some professional organizations, if that's of interest to any presenters out there. Family events are another thing that we can offer for you, and we'd love to talk about those in a breakout room if you're interested. So thank you for your attention, and we'll pass it on to Sarah for the video.
All right. Thank you, Angie and Adam. We are going to move on to the work sample for the Heron Journey. Here we go.
Once there was a king, a new king, who rose to the throne, and when that golden crown was placed on his head, he knew the power of the water. This bird was soaring on the same wind. And it came closer and closer. And there ahead of them was this glorious stand of trees covered in homes. Heron jumped up and danced right in the presence of that golden tree, dancing with love and acceptance.
All right, thanks again, Adam and Angie, for sharing. If you are interested in working with Adam, please do reach out to Angie to set up a time to talk. And next, we are going to be hearing from Alex and Olmsted. And while I'm switching over the pins, I do want to remind presenters on the line that if you stick around to the end of our time together today, we will have an opportunity to do breakout rooms with the artists who are sharing here. So if you're interested in talking more, you can plan on that. And with that, I'm going to stop and turn it over to Sarah and Alex with Alex and Olmsted. Take it away, y'all.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Alex Vernon.
I'm Sarah Olmsted Thomas.
And together we run a puppet theater company called Alex and Olmsted.
We're both puppeteers and builders, writers and performers. And for the Mid-Atlantic touring roster of artists, I'm going to be our tour manager. We are an internationally acclaimed puppet theater company, and we have performed in festivals in Italy, Denmark, Korea, and across the United States.
Yes, and in 2020, Alex and Olmsted was awarded the State Independent Artist Award from the Maryland State Arts Council, the highest honor for performing artists in the state of Maryland. So we feel very honored for that.
Mm-hmm. We are very proud of the Mid-Atlantic region and being able to be based here. We've been supported twice by the Jim Henson Foundation and also received an UNIMA Citation of Excellence and have been recognized by the New York Times.
Mm-hmm. We are currently touring 3 of our shows: Marooned, a space comedy, Milo the Magnificent, and Hubba Hubba.
Marooned Space Comedy is about an astronaut who lands on an unknown planet. Her spaceship crashes, and she has to confront strange creatures, a strange atmosphere, and isolation with only her Ada robot to help her find her way home. Marooned was awarded a Jim Henson Foundation grant as well as an Unima Citation of Excellence.
Milo the Magnificent is a highly engaging puppet show about a young aspiring magician. This is a wordless comedy inspired by turn-of-the-century vaudeville entertainers and is highly physical as it is charming. It uses stunningly innovative puppetry, and Milo presents a variety of magic tricks which don't always go as planned. And Milo was also awarded a Jim Henson Foundation grant.
Our newest show, which we are also currently touring as part of the roster, is called Hubba Hubba, and it's all about romantic love. And yes, it is for all ages. We performed this show for a school group who was a room full of experts on romantic love, which was totally charming. This show involves puppetry, but also has audience participation and improvisation, which is a fun way of engaging the audience, and is, quote, equal parts awkwardness and side-splitting laughter per Broadway world. And we use, as I mentioned, puppetry, also physical comedy, and present stories of love and all its quirks. It's for all ages, and Hubba Hubba received a creativity grant from the Maryland State Arts Council.
Our shows are a great fit for all types of presenters. Each show sort of can fit different venue sizes and audience levels, and everything that we make is appropriate for all ages.
And we have a number of puppetry workshops we could offer depending on the age ranges of the group or the expertise. We could lead an advanced level workshop or a beginner workshop. And above that, or I'd say in addition to that, we could work directly with the presenter about what would be best for the community at hand. So we could develop something new for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah and Alex. We're going to check out the work sample now.
Love.
Alrighty, again, thank you, Alex and Olmsted. Sarah and Alex, thank you for sharing. If you are interested in having a conversation about bringing Alex and Olmsted to your community, reach out to Sarah Olmsted Thomas, who is tour manager. And keeping us moving right along, Deborah Ann, can I invite you to begin sharing about Becoming Othello? Deborah Ann, we're not hearing you, but I know you are traveling. So we can also check out the work sample to get us started if that feels better. Why don't we go ahead and do that? And do shoot me a note in the chat, Deborah Ann, if I can support in any way in the meantime.
And lack and worry and blame, I made sure to let go of all those things that shackled and endangered my mind. Those things that threaten to collapse my face and leave me stifled and stagnant, inconsistent and unsure, and I did not stop there. See, while I was at it, I undid the lies from my past that told me and my ancestors that we were not welcome in certain places, on certain stages, in certain genres. Those lies that told us that we are less than any little thing that kept me bound and confused and small and scared and powerless to defend myself, I undid. And in my undoing, I learned what it means to fully access the power of my God self. I married my hood self to my facility for language. I mixed in my awesome masculine energy with my soulful feminine spirit, and like my ancestors before me, who found Shakespeare before me, Ira Aldridge, Henrietta Vinton Davis, Jane White, Earl Hyman, Paul Robeson, James Earl Jones. I pushed past the slanders, the slurs, the smears, the falsehoods, and the spirit of Iago still running rampant in this world with its defamations, its misrepresentations, and set out to create a better world, which is unmistakably linked to an unforgettable Shakespearean experience.
Thank you, Deborah Ann, in the recording. Deborah Ann, are you here with us in the Zoom space?
Yes, I'm here.
Wonderful. I'll pass it to you.
Okay, my phone is saying I'm in safe driving mode. It's not letting me.
We can hear you.
Hold on. Hold on a moment. Hello there. Can you hear me now?
We can, yeah, go for it. Thank you. Deborah Ann, you are now on mute and we cannot hear you, but we could before. Great, go for it.
Hello, sorry for the delay. I'm Deborah Ann Bird. I am the founding artistic director of the Harlem Shakespeare Festival and the emerging playwright, an award-winning classically trained actress and producer. I created Becoming Othello, A Black Girl's Journey, in partnership with the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust in Stratford-upon-Avon, where I lived as a writer in residence for 5 weeks. I then spent 8 weeks in residence at the Folger Shakespeare Institute and 4 semesters at Columbia University, where I further developed the work. Since then, I have toured my theatrical drama both nationally and internationally to theaters, museums, universities, and festivals, including the Shakespeare's Birthplace Trust, Prague Shakespeare, Shakespeare in Paradise, the National Arts Club, Shakespeare and Company, Livermore Shakespeare, Boise Contemporary Theater, Lincoln Center, and the National Black Theater Festival and others.
Yeah.
Hailed by critics as a tour de force journey of a living memoir, Becoming Othello, A Black Girl's Journey is an electric autobiographical solo show that chronicles the trials and triumphs of a young woman's life, her joy-filled and tumultuous youth growing up in Harlem, her faithful encounter with a troupe of Shakespearean actors, and ultimately her gender-flipped journey to playing Shakespeare's noble, flawed General Othello. It is a story of triumph, victory, and unconditional love. If you like presenting live theater in intimate settings and you're looking to be inspired, encouraged, and yes, even challenged, Becoming Othello is for you. I love my audiences, and in addition to the solo show, I can also offer a pre or post-show talkback, a solo show writing workshop, or I can coach some acting students with their monologues. I am open to talking with the presenters to decide what kind of surround events best fits the needs of your specific community. I surely look forward to speaking with you all about bringing Becoming Othello to the communities in which you live, work, and serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Deborah Ann. If you are interested in bringing Becoming Othello to your community, reach out to Deborah Ann to get that conversation started. Next up, we are going to hear from Lars Swanson, who will speak to us about Long Point String Band. Lars, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, take it away.
All right, so my name's Lars Swanson. I play bass and I'm the tour manager for Long Point String Band. In Adam's presentation, he used the word neo-traditional, and that is a very good word to describe what we do as well. We're an old neo-traditional, old-time string band based out of Beckley, West Virginia. In West Virginia, as a state, we've done a lot. We've played at the Vandalia Gathering multiple times. One of our members is very impressive, is named Hunter Walker. He's won the state dulcimer championship 6 times in his lifetime, and the clawhammer banjo contest twice. We have a few other members, also decorated Lewis Pritchard, who plays mandolin and old time fiddle. And our guitar player, Brian Bell, has been in a number of bands. We've all been working for a very long time. We've played together as a group for about a decade now, mostly in West Virginia, and gone around to a few camps and other things like that. So we're really excited to kind of bring our sound and our distinct style throughout the Mid-Atlantic region and work with a lot of different kind of presenters to get out into the communities. We can range from, playing in very small, intimate show without a sound system to playing like a theater standard kind of show. We've run the gamut of that kind of thing. As far as what we do, there's definitely different crowds in different communities. Just thinking about it, there's different communities of instrumentalists in different areas. And so with our wide variety of instruments, having a decorated dulcimer player and having a decorated clawhammer banjo player, the same person, a very experienced fiddle player, we're able to offer a wide variety of programs. So if we needed to focus on dulcimer, because there's an extensive dulcimer community in the area, we could do that, or we could focus on banjo and fiddle for a performance, or we could do our normal thing where we mix it up and kind of show everything that we can. We can also focus on, specific regions for tune selection. So we know a lot of tunes from West Virginia, and it can explain some of the history, the counties they come from and the time periods they're from. And also, at the same time, kind of show our modern take on those old tunes after we've explained where they come from, play it, maybe, if it's an educational thing, show how they play it traditionally and then how we play it and talk about some differences. So there's a lot of opportunities there. As far as specific outreach is concerned, I would say that what we could do could range from just, talking about music generally with younger students to doing very specific instrumental workshops within communities. So if there's a specific audience of young fiddlers or older fiddlers, or like I said, dulcimer players, they tend to travel in packs. So that's why I mentioned that. If there's an extensive group of dulcimer players around, presenters might know that. And so we could offer an outreach thing specific to instruments, specific to playing old time music, just whatever we need to do. We want to really serve the community the best we can. And so, the best thing to do is just reach out and so we can kind of get a dialogue going about the kind of presentation that we want to do. So.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lars. Let's move into the work sample for Long Point String Band. thank you again, Lars. And if you are interested in working with Long Point String Band, please reach out to Lars to start that conversation. We have one more artist left. And so just as a reminder, presenters, after we hear from David and Valerie for Plena Libre, we will have an opportunity to join these artists in breakout rooms. So stick around to ask your questions and get your conversation started. So before we do that, I'll hand it over to David and Valerie to speak about Plena Libre.
Hey, thanks everybody. I'm David Garr. I'm with Freshen Up Arts agency, and I'm touring Roots in International Music. And I'm thrilled as part of our roster to have the Puerto Rican orchestra Plena Libre involved, and we're all really excited to be part of Sarah and Mid-Atlantic Arts touring program for this coming season. Plena Libre has been together for over 3 decades. At this point, they're considered, probably one of the most historic plena, bomba, salsa ensembles from Puerto Rico. They're based in San Juan, Puerto Rico. They've toured all over the world, and bringing plena and bomba music to all parts. The ensemble generally is 10 to 12 persons on stage. That's a front line of usually 4 singers, percussionists, sometimes 5. There's also percussion, horns involved in the orchestra, but it's really moving, energetic, deep, dance-oriented traditional music from San Juan, Puerto Rico. The 24-25 season, we're touring in honor of the founding director of the band, sadly recently passed earlier in October. He's turned prior to that, he turned the artistic directorial reins over to his son, Luis Gabriel Nunez, who's also there with Valerie. So this particular tour is a really moving and touching point for the orchestra. We're basically going to be touring, in promotion of the recently released recording Cuatro Esquinas, 4 Corners, but it's also in honor of the founding director, Gary Nunez's, 3-decade history of leading the group to the position of Puerto Rico's #1 plena bomba ensemble. I don't know if Valerie and Luis, if you want to add anything or say anything, and then I'll continue on after that.
Sure. First of all, thank you for having us. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here and to participate of this. Plena and bomba are the African heritage from our Puerto Rican music. What we do in Puerto Rico in Plena Libre is to express that. We go from really the plena from the current year 2023 to the most traditional part of the plena. We can play both in our shows. We show people how to dance plena and bomba. We show people our instruments, how it's played, how it's made, and we go through a travesty and the history of the plena from the beginnings of the past century to this one. We also do schools and a lot of sorry, I'm forgetting the word. I'm thinking in Spanish and translating in English. Sorry, a lot of workshops with kids, but also with graduates. Just did the Chicago University offer us for being there. We work with some doctoral candidates. So we have our group have these really big legends from the corner. With master's degrees from universities in the US and in Puerto Rico. So we basically cover both worlds, from the academic and the strict knowledge, as a Puerto Rican. So we are very happy for this. Our show is super energetic. I gave you 3 songs. Dancing, I can assure you that. So thank you very much. And Puerto Rican music and the legacy from my father. Here, everywhere.
Yeah, so as Luis Gabriel had mentioned, the group is very versatile in the presentations, and it ranges anywhere from outdoor festival, in front of 10,000 people driving them crazy to an intimate, school kid performance. So there's a lot of flexibility also in the outreach side of the equation, for us to tailor that to whatever the presenter might feel suits their community. In addition to the actual performance, like Luis had mentioned, they're also keen to do longer residencies. They did that recently with the University of Chicago, where they came in for a week, did a full presentation with the orchestra, live in the theater, but also collaborated with music students and also with the orchestra there at the university. There was collaborations that were possible. So there's interesting manners or ways for us to tailor the event based on what the actual presenter needs. We actually have another interesting residency coming up in May of 24 for the bicentennial at the university. Yeah, at Trinity University in New Hampshire. They're coming in and doing a similar thing where we're tailoring some school performances, tailoring some academic outreach, and then having a big presentation in the university theater. So those are all interesting for us to tailor make for whatever the presenter's needs are. We currently have quite a bit of interest starting to shake up. We have some dates as early as July for some summer municipal concert series and some festival events. We have another run coming together in August, and then there's already some holds coming together in late October, early November of 24 as well for more of a university center run. So there's and then also open to look at 2025 as well. But the reality is, I think we've got 3 strong periods already in the running for 24 to try to adapt to whatever presenters might need. Yeah, I think Sarah, you've got a live clip that we had put together and sent to you.
Yes, absolutely. So David and Valerie, thank you. And Louise, thank you so much for being here. It's great to connect with you. Hi, and let's take a look at this work sample, everyone. Again, thank you, David, Louise, and Valerie. If you are interested in working with Plena Libre, please reach out to David, get that conversation started. All right, everybody, we have made it to the end of the presentation portion of this event. I want to thank all of the roster artists. You are all wonderful, and thank you for going with the flow here today with a variety of technology and communication things. Everyone